The Tomorrowverse continues to grow with the latest DC animated film, but does including the big three together finally deliver the action we've been waiting for, or should it just been called something else? What's up, Nerdgenic Nation? Superhero nerd Aaron Waller here, and today I wanted to talk about the DC animated movie Justice League Warworld, which is part of the Tomorrowverse. This film sees Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman disjointed and going through their own story, only to find out that they're all on Warworld, a place of unending combat that they must work together to escape. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and jump right to the point and say that I don't think that this movie should have been called Warworld, a Justice League movie, or even been part of the Tomorrowverse storyline. It just felt way too disjointed, and I think would have honestly worked better as a DC showcase than trying to tie these three stories together. Which I didn't think I would ever say something like that, because there are several DC films that could have easily stood on their own, but somehow ended up being a DC showcase movie instead. But the reason that I say this is that in this movie, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman respectively find themselves in different stories that are all unconnected, but they somehow end up being part of the overall narrative. The movie starts with Wonder Woman being in the Old West and explores the story of how she essentially helps liberate a small town from Jonah Hex and his gang. Then it moves on to Batman in a very Conan the Barbarian style story as he works as a mercenary of sorts, which somehow also has Wonder Woman in it. And then there's the Superman portion, which Batman and Wonder Woman were able to be transported to, that is in black and white and is inspired by 50s monsters and aliens movies. The film then moves into how the stories are connected, with them having issues with their memories, and then it being revealed that they were on Warworld, and involves the story of having to liberate the planet, which happens in a very rushed and chaotic manner in my opinion. And to me, this movie was just all over the place, both in a good way and in a bad way. I think had they tried to keep these stories separate and not try to shoehorn in the Warworld story, despite it being the name of the movie, but it's when they try to tie these independently strong and interesting stories together that the movie completely falls apart. And even calling this movie a Justice League movie also just feels very wrong. They're disjointed for the majority of the time and never even officially call themselves the Justice League or even assemble a team. They're more just working together for the sakes of them being heroes and doing what's right. And if I recall correctly, which I can't even remember this movie after having just watched it not that long ago, they didn't even know Wonder Woman. She was just kind of there. So this movie's just an absolute continuity mess. They try and do so many cool things but falter at almost every chance to make it truly awesome and fail at setting up anything for me to even care about by the end. With all that being said, however, there are still a few positives that I can take away, such as a pretty good voice cast and animation style, and separate storylines as I mentioned that each hero was going through, being at least entertaining when they were on their own. I might rewatch this one at a later point just to make sure I didn't miss anything, or enjoy the standalone stories, but other than those few positives, I would say this movie was an overall fail. And if you do end up watching it, just watch from the beginning up until they transition out of the Superman story. Mind you, that's the majority of the movie, but it's all downhill after that point in my opinion, and for that reason, I'm going to give Justice League Warworld a 6 out of 10. I honestly wanted to go lower with my score, but thinking about how the majority of the movie was at least decent with the ambitious but separate storylines, I have to give them props that at least those parts were entertaining. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Justice League Warworld, and now I want to hear from you in the Nerdgenic community. Have you seen this DC animated movie? If so, what did you think? Do you think that it would have served a better purpose to be a showcase, or did you enjoy when things finally came together? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos from me or the rest of the Nerdgenic team. And also be sure to give us a follow across all social media platforms at Nerdgenic. That way you don't miss out on any special news, announcements, or articles at nerdgenic.com. But in the meantime, if you want even more video content from us, check out my thoughts on a different DC animated series that is killing it right now in My Adventures with Superman right over here. Or for more DC related content, check out this playlist right over here. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, we really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you in the next video.